Hey, welcome back, guys. Of the many themes in Power Ghost's second season, the main one centers on Yasmin St. Patrick, the final child in Ghost and Tasha's now corrupted bloodline, and the greatest chance at redemption for her troubled family. We've witnessed Yaz go through her fair share of changes this season, as her brother attempts to save her from an uncertain future, and himself by extension of those efforts. In today's video, we'll analyze the potential fate of Yasmin and how it's directly linked to her brothers, depending on how the pendulum swings, that is. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things Power. Here we go. There's only one word that comes to mind whenever the character of Yaz St. Patrick blesses the screen: innocence. Yasmin remains the only St. Patrick unpoisoned by street life. Beginning her power journey, essentially at the beginning of her life itself, Yaz was unaware of the simmering ills that will befall her family. Be that as it may, her life would certainly be affected by the underworld in the worst way. She's lost the benefits of having a father, mother, older sister, and stable family life overall due to the choices of those who preceded her. In fact, one could argue that she's had it worse than her brother from an upbringing perspective. Tariq, for all of his hustler leanings in the present day, was essentially a spoiled child, longing for the direction and attention of his father. He had everything defined as the best at his fingertips: a luxurious home, the latest gaming consoles, and the best education. Yaz, on the other hand, lacks in just about all of the above. The breakup of her family led to her living quarters being downsized tremendously, as we saw in Book 1, Season 6. That living situation would further decline following her father's death and mother's imprisonment. She would reside with her grandmother, who lived humbly and had limited access to the funds of Ghost's estate. And what little she did have, she squandered on alcohol, mourning the shambles in which her family had devolved into. Though we know little of Yaz's educational environment, we do know that it's nowhere near the Ivy League, privatized prep atmospheres that Tariq had been privy to due to the fruits of his father's labor. With all of the above considered, one could honestly conclude that Yaz has become who Tariq was trying to be: a child brought up in the struggle. Many could never fathom how a child with Tariq's resources could grow to be a drug dealer. But if Yaz grew to be the same, it would be completely plausible, given her harsh set of circumstances. But that's assuming that the game lasts that long in regards to her life. I'm going to pose a question that'll give many of you cause to pause, but it must be asked. What if the future of Yasmin St. Patrick is shorter than we think? Let's break this down. Tariq's journey this season, as I previously stated, is directly linked to his sister's well-being. Our new series lead has chosen an arduous path filled with danger and despair, a dark world accompanied by many terrors, and his enemies have become aware of Yasmin's existence, something that could hurt him or keep him in line. It's for this reason that Tariq chose against mentioning Kane's name to save himself, or take that deal orchestrated by Tamika and the prosecution team. His sister's well-being trumps all, and he wouldn't intentionally do something that would bring further harm to his dwindling family line. But what if trouble finds its way to Yasmin despite these efforts? Courtney Kemp mentioned in one of her previous lives, in answering why Raina's life ended prematurely, that Tariq is the main center of this story, his epic being defined by triumphs and, even more importantly, tragedy. We've witnessed aspects of her assertions regarding his character: the loss of his aforementioned sister, murder of his father, and exile of his mother. Tariq's final lifeline between sanity and savagery is the last St. Patrick left: his baby sister, Yasmin. And if something were to happen to her, something irreparable, it would definitively push him over the edge, exceeding him past the monstrous nature that defined the lowest elements of his father. Tamika hinted as such in Season 2's 7th episode. She stressed the fact that there's, quote, still good in him. Did you see him with his sister? This quote teeters along a cryptic tightrope because, as we know, This series is supposed to be about Tariq becoming a version of his father, for better or for worse. His humanity, that last lingering component of compassion that resides within his soul, is linked to the well-being of the last St. Patrick left. If Tariq is to truly make great strides in the game, it'll only come on the backbone of some great tragedy. Now you might think to yourself, what greater tragedies could befall someone who's lost what he has thus far? And the answer to that pivotal question is that baby girl holding his fate and destiny in the balance. A fate that doesn't appear to be on their sides, as the odds continually stack against their pending family reunion and subsequent stability. But what do you make of all of this? Will Yasmin and Tariq subvert the momentous odds against their linked futures? Or will yet another tragedy force an irreversible development in Tariq's character for the absolute worst? Be sure to drop me your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.